problem. And it looks here. It says live now. And I'm not getting that error message, and we're not dropping all the frames, so yay!
Hooray!
Good. Let me see. Hello,
It was
Twitch.
so stupid. I was looking it up, and like, I had to change video settings, and there were help files telling me to go into the BIOS and change GPU stuff, and I'm like, what year is
Well,
this? God, I hate Windows. What? I'm not doing that. And then I
That's
found
weird.
something else that I could just change the video settings to a different proportional compression, blah, blah, blah. And, like, really? I've been streaming with the software for months, and all of a sudden, like, did they add this video setting?
They borked something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was weird. They've done something weird to the little app. You have to like when you click on it and it's like live now, and then they're like click to watch, and it goes from being big to being smaller. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? What?
It's a little weird. Alright, so last step in checking is unmuting us to see, make sure we're all heard. Okay, I heard you talk, I heard your cup. Ray, say something.
I'm talking. I am saying stuff.
Okay.
I should probably keep going until you stay
No, I can
stopped.
see it. And we all seem it. I just am really low. Damn it. Whoa. No, I did not want to pop us out. Can we not do that? I'm going to turn my mic up. And up, up. Okay. Now, check it on the stream. Test 1, 2. I'm gonna turn my mic up more. I need a new mic.
I'm already tired, and it's just Monday because two of our folks are training new folks. So we had 5 lab aides, and then 1 left, so we dropped to 4. And now 2 of them are training. So for regular tasks that aren't like the super simple tasks that they're training for, it's like we have 2.5 now.
Oh boy.
Oof, they're busy training, and so it's like it's got to power through it for the next couple of weeks until they're done.
Okay. So, yeah. Oh, we might want to share it.
Oh yeah. Which I did the hello. I did the
Oh, I forgot anything.
Can I get there we go. Social media thing. I just again forgot to write that I did that on the date that I did that, and I did that there, and I did that there. There we go. Which
page I manage.
kind of format wise, do you want me to go ahead and share the topic?
Yes.
On like Twitter and Facebook. Okay, I didn't do that yesterday.
Yeah, and I thought of earlier today because I went earlier to edit the stream announcement on Twitch so that it would be correct. It would have time to propagate and share the correct topic when we started. And it occurred to me now that we planned the shows out in advance, I should pretty much do that like right after this show. Go ahead and change that because that'll make it easier for you to have it there and share what the next show is going to be. And maybe Facebook will catch up, because Facebook still shares whatever the hell last week was. Even though I changed it hours ago. So maybe it needs a week.
Maybe. Let's see if I still have the dexterity to do this. Look at my cute bumblebee socks.
Aw.
The wings are
cute.
sparkly.
I'm not wearing socks.
Nope.
Oh, shoot. I do have something I got today that I want to show on stream, though. I'm going to run and get it, and then we can start.
Okay. We have a
I
couple
don't have
minutes.
enough water.
We have a couple minutes, so we're
I think I'm going to do that and try and hide the box in the background.
Goobity doo. Doodly doo doo.
Okay. Oh, my hair. I think my hair, I talked to my stylist, and we seem to think it's reached maximum length, which was the experiment. How long will it get? And I think we've reached maximum length, so now I can cut it at some point. And I have a super secret project. I'll tell you guys about it after the show.
Okay.
I had it in the notes, and I was like, oh, I can't say that out loud because one of the people we're gifting it to might listen. It's a very difficult surprise to keep. All right. Ready when you are.
Well, do we want to give them until 8 p.m. on the nose?
That's up to you.
Yeah. We'll officially start
I'm
at
sure
8
the
p.m.
hordes are incoming.
We'll keep
Consistency of some
consistency.
kind. Sure.
Be professional.
Well,
We're so professional.
Very professional. I am in no way in a house coat. Totally. It's a very warm hoodie in my defense.
I was half tempted to change into my Miss Piggy onesie. It's.
I have an
It's
Eeyore
very comfy.
onesie.
It's very comfy.
We could do a onesie party.
We could
Do a onesie party.
a Disney onesie party.
Yeah, I could just use my leopard one and say I'm the leopard from Tarzan. I'll be fine.
There you go.
Rar. Rar.
Leah and I did a video date where we hung out on, I don't know, we used Facebook Messenger or something, and we were going to watch Maleficent, but the first one isn't on Disney Plus yet, just the second one.
Weird.
But, so we watched Sleeping Beauty, and I wore my Eeyore onesie for that.
Yeah,
was I doing?
I managed to find that at a thrift store, and it fit me, and I was very, like, my mom and I were shopping together. This was, like, in, like, January, and she was like, I'm buying that for you. I don't care what you say. And I was like, okay.
I accept my fate.
I accept my fate. It's $15. I'll take it.
My mom does that with the Hello Kitty stuff to me. It's like almost all Hello Kitty items I have in the house are just random gifts from her, and I'm like, I'm not gonna complain one bit.
So many of my friends are into Hello Kitty and Sailor Moon, and I'm just so in the dark.
Good.
Although Daniel
Sailor
gave
Moon's
me
good.
some good advice. He tipped me off on a shorter series that covers the arc very quickly if I want to do homework for our Sailor Moon episode.
Yeah. I mean, you could just watch Crystal.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what he said.
Yeah.
Because they just do the manga, which is basically introduce everybody, one or two big things, and that's it.
Mhm.
I
The 90s anime, while some of the filler is actually very good and they get to like develop the characters more, they were waiting on the manga, so there is filler.
Eh, a little less so, but yeah, it's like the first season of Crystal, I think, is like 12 or 13 episodes, whereas the first season of the 90s version is. God, we couldn't even do it in one night. We
Like
got halfway
40.
through it.
Something like 40 episodes or something like that.
I want to say like 30 or 40 something.
Yeah.
Ray, you're super
I'm a bad nerd right now.
redlining again.
Oh,
Just pull your mic away from your mouth.
it's probably because we were talking Sailor Moon.
No. I just
Damn.
didn't notice it until you actually started talking a good bit. Yeah, you guys, Discord does something weird where it makes me lower. Like, I have to have my mic up at 100% or I'm way below you guys.
Weird.
But like Linda said, hers at about 75, and that did it right. And I think that's about where you were when we corrected it last time. But it's something where Discord thinks it's making us all the same. It's not doing that. And I can, I volumize the recording later, but that doesn't help anybody who watches the videos.
Yep.
And you guys end up sometimes sounding distorted because of the red line.
And you're right, it's 46 episodes for season 1.
Did you turn your mic down? Or
I did.
In Discord?
Is it still?
Yeah, you're still.
Yeah.
You're
Well, I
still
turn it down some more.
I was just like shilling us in the Diamond Club thing, and I was like, why is Ray blowing out my ears? And I looked over like, oh, 'cause red.
It's red.
It's red. I turned up to 100%, and now I'm just getting into yellow.
Okay, better?
Still very loud for some reason.
Damn it. Let me fix it over on this side. No, not that way.
One of my back neighbors, because we have houses that are on the back side of our house, is doing some sort of construction project. I can hear the saw going. And I'm like, really? Really? Right now? Right now?
Well, I can't hear it, so.
You muted yourself, Kelly.
You did.
Or sorry, Ray.
It's Ray, yeah.
Yep.
I hope I have it.
I mean, I hear you.
Did I fix the wrong side?
No? Go ahead and say some things.
I'm saying something.
You're still redlining.
I'm trying to get this figured out because I can barely hear anybody now.
Oh, you
want to turn the
You may have turned down your output.
output.
Yeah, you may have turned down your output. Try turning. So there's the two sides. Yeah, turn up your output, but turn down your input.
Okay.
Input's on the left side, I think, and down output's on the right. Doodly doo.
Okay, how's that?
Better.
Any better? Okay.
Well,
Yes.
It's better to me. Did you turn your output back up so that you can hear us?
I'm gonna fuss with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're not
okay,
redlining now, so.
So my output is set at about it's set at 100, but that's the middle of the road for where like it says output volume.
Okay. I think I got it now because I can actually hear people.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry I have to have you guys do that, but I have to leave my output all the way up so OBS can hear us.
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
All right, I think we're all at a reasonable volume now. We're not screaming women. We don't want to banshee people.
Now we shall start. We are not wailing women. That is not what this is about. I will give it a few moments of silence and then I will get going. Hello and welcome to episode 161 of Geek Girls. The Geek Girls podcast is supported primarily by our patrons. You can find us at patreon.com/grills. I'm Linda and I am joined by my co-host September, also known as 9 of 12.
Hello, hello, hello.
And Ray.
Hello.
So today's topic, we're going to be discussing Disney as a moral compass. As someone who grew up on Disney, yep, that it influenced the way I acted, so we're going to talk about it. So what have y'all been up to this week? Amber?
Well, fixing our stream. Yay!
Yay!
Because I did do a Heresy and Hearsay show and was running into the same errors we were having, and I couldn't keep blaming Twitch. It was other mysterious software changes. So, I fix. Harvesting for my garden, that makes me super happy and excited. I've been, picking beans almost every day. So, and my nasturtiums are ballooning. That's another, I'm talking about a different garden next year I'm starting to plan. Because I love edible flowers. I went to a restaurant with my in-laws once where every course had edible flowers, and I thought that was so great. And there were all kinds of flowers I didn't know you could eat. And other people weren't as into it, and I was eating everybody's flowers. And Rob and I were talking about this because the nasturtiums are coming, and we kind of grew them to throw in salads. So it's like, we need a whole edible flower garden, and then I can just goth up, put on my Morticia dress, and go out with a basket, and just, you can video, and I'll just be eating the flowers. It's like a step above the cutting the heads off the roses.
Yeah, it's that's where the idea of salads came from, was the edible flowers. I think it was Elizabethan times, but yeah, salads is what they were called. It was very French, very, very fancy.
Dandelion salads.
Just, they had all sorts of flowers that they would eat back in the day.
Well, I've been thinking about finding a recipe for, I know you can stuff and fry and eat zucchini blossoms.
Yes, it's so good.
Because my zucchinis
so
are
good.
Putting off mostly male flowers right now. And there's a lot of them. And then they're just dropping. And I'm like, but no, it's food. So
batter that up, deep fry it. It's delicious.
Yeah. Well, I only have an air fryer now, so I don't know. I'll figure something out. Someone has to have decoded how to do this.
Sure. You could probably futz it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I will finagle something. I did have a date with Leah, my friend, on Saturday, and we went to this Bavarian kitchen restaurant that has very limited seating right now. We had to get reservations, and I was super excited because they had sauerbraten as the special, and I had not had sauerbraten since I was a little girl and my grandmother made it. And I have her recipe, and I tried to make it one time with rabbit, and it was terrible. So I don't know if it was the rabbit, or I did something horribly wrong, or like grandmothers do, she left out something. But I was really happy, and I got really good sauerbraten. And I've been working on building again. I can't show you or talk about much what we're building. It's something Rob was going to make for his friend. And then he was like, I bet Leah would really like one of those too. I'm like, I bet I would really like one. Why would... And when you find out what it is, you'll understand why. I was like, dude, must have. So we did a prototype over the weekend, and to make sure everything fit, because it has a lot of angles, and the prototype is done, and I was just helping him do some of the cutting, because we're making the final product out of MBF, and so yeah, I've been in the shop again, and this time not building outdoor furniture.
All
and today I got this. Leah was at Spencer's last week and saw that there's a Harley Quinn Living Dead doll. And it was marked down 50% off the lowest ticketed price and had been discounted before. So I got this for $20. And I am super excited about my Living Dead Harley. I haven't taken her out of the box yet. But I will, because I'm not that weird collector person. I play with my toys. So I'm a 51-year-old woman, and I have a new dolly.
I think I only have one I never took out of the box, and it was a Barbie Catwoman. And it was a gift, and I'm like, no, she's too pretty. She stays there.
Oh, I do have a couple box things, but pops, but they're not very play-withable. And my Christmas Harley that somebody gave me. Mm-hmm. But I've got the Barbie 2020 or 2012 presidential candidate. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because it's got this dual-purpose sign in the box that says, "She stands on her own." I'm like, all right, that's awesome. And I found him in like a clearance bin rack. I think I got it for a couple dollars, and I bought a couple of them. I gave one to my niece, and then I kept one. But that's like a history thing, and I don't really play with Barbies, but I will probably sleep with Harley.
Yeah, like my pops are in their boxes just because I don't have a good place to stash the boxes. They were out because I used to have more closet space at the old place. And it's just like we moved here and I was like, closet space is limited. You all are staying in your boxes. Up on the shelf you go.
Yeah, I have a couple that are out, couple aren't. Like I have a Groot pop that's a bobblehead. And I stuck it on my dashboard for a long time. But in the heat of North Carolina, the inside glue melted and his head fell off.
Oh no!
Yikes!
Very sad, baby Groot.
So
what have you been up to, Ray?
Oh, yeah, I should do that thing. No, mostly it's pretty domestic this weekend. Scott was running 5 different games, Vampire and Trinity, for the Onyx Path virtual convention. So I was just doing my best to kind of straighten up, keep him fed so he didn't get overly stressed, and he did an awesome job. Apparently one of the woman who did the rules for the new Trinity system was in his big game that he did that was streamed, and that was the one he was the most nervous about because he's like, "Senpai," but not senpai. I'm just projecting. He would never say that.
At first, I thought you said "send pie," and I'm like,
that
happens to me when I get stressed.
Then the apple pie, yes.
Yeah, I've been reading too much Trigger. Tom Merritt has his character in those books has a pie thing.
And then I might have a possible astrology series commission. We're gonna see how that goes and manifests because it's a coworker and she likes my art, but I was trying to poke her for some details on like what she wanted, and she did that very vague. Whatever you do will be fine, which always makes me very nervous.
That's so stressful as an artist. Like I get that.
So I started with
people
Taurus.
ask me to make wedding jewelry.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, well, what do you want? Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm like, holy crap.
A little bit of direction.
Materials, anything.
Yeah. So I did I used one of my friends and did a Taurus inspired girl.
It's so cute.
So I got permission from the model and she approved. So which was a fun conversation of, hey, there's this really cute picture of you with horns, and are you okay if I draw you as a Taurus even though I know you're a Cancer? Is that cool? You're not gonna be upset. I'll draw you as a Cancer if you want for you, but she's like, no, I love it. It's great. I hope she likes it too. So we'll see. I gotta talk to her on Friday. And maybe there will be more, or at least more direction on where to go from there. So,
yeah, just show her the first thing and be like, "Is this what you want?"
Do you? Because I was asking, I'm like, do you want like? I could do busts and headshots all day. That's actually kind of my favorite thing to do because it's a lot of hair and eyes, and I'm like, yay, my favorite features. But I'm like, do you want something more like what they used to have in teen magazines with the different girl icons, different poses, like little chibi versions. And she's like, whatever. I'm like, okay,
Not
Not
helping.
we'll start with this and go from there. That was pretty much it.
Right, and as for myself, I've gotten more work done on my Cats of the Year blanket. So I have April Block, which is a kitty looking at all the butterflies. I love some of the names for the patterns because the patterns are named. And the name for that pattern is Flutterbys. Then I have May, which is little one. It actually this pattern acts. It looks like my cat, like my little calico. Through no machinations from myself, this is literally what the lady's pattern looked like, and I'm like, that looks exactly like Sally.
Yay!
So it's all about it's little flies, mayflies. And
that
then
thing is gonna be huge.
it is. It's gonna be very big.
Those are big blocks.
Yeah, and they don't take me very long. Like if I'm working constantly, one of these blocks takes me about 2 days. And then
My wrist hurts.
June, which is a little cat with a mouse friend.
Oh,
I loves it with the mouse.
Yes. I'm actually working on my favorite of them only because the pattern that is for July is of a Siamese looking at little bees that are flying around, and the pattern is called Siamese.
Oh,
that's adorable.
Yeah, so I'm working on that one right now. Let's see. I ran my D&D card captor game. I'm very pleased that my players seem to enjoy the amount of whimsy that I've put into it. There's more of that coming. So
they still looking for the items?
Oh yeah. The whole play is them going around looking for these cards. They've just gotten the second one. It was the Don Juan who had turned itself into a hat. And they had to get it off of a guy who was in prison. Because if you're not aware, the Don Juan card, if you pull it, you immediately go to jail. It's go to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200. But I've been doing a lot of baking and such because my adoring lovely husband, whom I love very much, went to the store to get us groceries. And he went, I think we're out of eggs. So he bought me an 18-pack of eggs. When he got home, he realized that we had a carton and a half. So I had 18 eggs. So we had 32 eggs. And I was like, what? So I have made many egg-based dishes in the past couple of days. I made omelets. I have made muffins. I have made meringues. And I have made custard.
Quiche.
I could make quiche.
You know what I do with a surplus of eggs is I make quiche, but I make it in muffin tins.
Yes, baby quiches.
And then you can just throw it in a baggie in the freezer, in the fridge, and you've got little heat and eat breakfast for like a long time.
That's a good idea. My friend was also like, you should make egg salad or deviled eggs, which are the same things, just one doesn't have to be pretty. And I was like, all right. Yep. So there'll be more egg-based dishes coming because we still have over 20 eggs.
Wow.
That was just, he was like,
I looked at a meme about that, like, honey, go to the store and get me, some bread, and if they have eggs, get me a dozen, and he comes home with a dozen loaves of bread. Like,
yeah. Like, it wasn't his fault. He doesn't check the fridge before going. So he was just like, I think we're out of eggs. We were not out of eggs.
We actually started keeping a Google document, just grocery list, and we just update it whenever we notice we're out of something.
I just need to get
That's what I use my Echo Dot for. That is the primary use, is playing music in the kitchen and saying, hey girl, put milk on the list, put eggs on the list. And it's the only thing that's gotten the rest of my family to use the damn list. I've had a paper list in my fridge for my whole life that you're supposed to put stuff on when you use the last of it, and no one ever does it. But somehow the Echo gamified it enough that other people help me keep the damn list updated, and then I can just open it in the store.
Yeah, I think I should just be like, just take a picture of the inside of the fridge before you go.
There you go.
It'll be fine.
Smart fridges are still too expensive.
Yes. But yes, that's what I've been up to. Crocheting and egg-based production.
You don't lay eggs.
How many I have, I might as well. So we're now gonna move on to our discussion topic, which is Disney as a moral compass. I am wearing a Disney shirt. I didn't do it on purpose, but you know what? I have it.
Serendipity.
Serendipity. So the reason why because I picked this as a topic, the reason why is because growing up, Disney was, until like Cartoon Network kind of became a thing, Disney was my cartoons. And my formative years were very informed by what Disney movies I watched, like Cinderella, Little Mermaid, Bambi. Gave me a terrible fear of guns for a while. And The Lion King.
Fire, maybe.
And fire, yes.
It's okay. You should be afraid of guns and fire.
Yeah. But yeah, and The Lion King. So like, I feel like as a person, I looked at these movies going, okay, so especially stuff like Cinderella, it was like, okay, so if you're, patient and kind and don't argue about doing chores, you'll get the prince, right? That's how it works. And, obviously now I'm, much more knowledgeable, but I just think it's interesting how they can, you can use Disney as like, oh, here's the picture of what a good like person is as your main character, and how a lot of kids may have grown up with that. Because it wasn't until about the end of elementary school, beginning of middle school, that I started to watch other cartoons, things that were like on Cartoon Network, like, I'm trying to remember the lineups, like Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girls and that sort of thing. So, and then I didn't get into anime until like high school. So I think, at least for myself, I can definitely, see the influence of be kind and try and be a good person, and then good things will happen to you, is something that I have taken on as a very like part of my personality.
Well, they are very much often designed to be morality plays. And I when I was hitting the Google machine, I found that there's a book about that called Mouse Morality, The Rhetoric of Disney Animated Film, that I am actually very interested to read now, because I'm interested in studying that more recently with the demonstrations going on and everything. I'm sure you probably saw, I know I reposted the thing about, you remember in Zootopia how Judy Hopps wanted to be a cop so bad and went to the big city and realized she was part of the systemic racism that was painting the minority as predators, and they asked her to be the face of this force, and she turned in her badge and went home because she was a good person. Yeah, cute movie.
Yeah, and it's interesting because even like if you're looking way back at the beginning of like Snow White, they're trying to make this morality play, as you called it, but actually, like the studio behind it at the time, they had a lot of problems. Like, I watch a YouTube channel called Defunct Land, and they just came out with like they were talking about like the rap party behind Snow White and how it just got super out of control.
Good. I'm
I
glad you
don't
saw
know
that.
this story.
Oh
I
God.
really wanted you to watch that one for this.
Yes. No, it's so like Disney Studio started off obviously as a very small studio. I think there was less than 100 people, and most of the animators were men. And there was this space in there called the ink and paint, and that was all women. And there was a lot of not so great harassment going on at Disney in the very, very early days. And and then the
Kind of
yeah.
everywhere, but yeah.
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 But it isn't something that you think about. Like now, especially nowadays with Disney being the big, we are the family friendly, everyone is, we're equal and
Yeah, they're very progressive
yeah.
socially ideas that they put forth. Yeah.
But back in the day, it was not that. And
Yep.
just a quick aside, Walt Disney was actually quite anti-union. He did not want his artists to unionize. I was not aware of that, but that's beside the point. Just a little tidbit for you.
I didn't feel a need for a union when I worked at Disney, though. I gotta tell you.
Well,
their company structure,
it's better
they
now.
They provide so much now. Yeah.
But in the video, it goes into the fact that when it was small, he did pay raises and payment, like how much you got paid on how good your animation was. But once it moved and grew to almost 1,000 people, I think, or quite like, yeah, it was like 700 or something. He couldn't have that like personal knowledge of everyone's style. And he was playing favorites, and that wasn't good. And so they were trying to unionize so that they could get, better pay. And he took that as some sort of like betrayal.
Yeah, that happens a lot in corporations. They take it as a personal affront.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you just have to be fair when you employ people.
Need a living wage.
Look at the stories we're telling. They might give you a clue. Greed, vanity, these aren't good.
They're not good. But yeah, so sorry, that was a tangent, but it's just very interesting because any big studio like that or any big company that, nowadays is trying to like strive, they're probably going to have some sort of story like that about how that's not how it used to be. And it's just, I find it very interesting that that was the way back when Disney was a smaller company. Back when he was just first starting up. It's and the morality plays themselves, if you will, for the Disney movies, they've evolved over time as well. It used to be, be a good person and you'll get the prince, and now it's evolved into, we can actually go into serious issues like mental illness and racism and things like that. Because I think like the first one where I like noticed, because they've been doing it all along, was Inside Out, where they are talking about like they're actually telling you how your brain kind of works, but in a way that's very digestible.
That one was super deep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm surprised. How did it do? Because it was very meta. But for me, it also reminded me of some of the Disney attractions where like journey into the mind and into the body and examine that kind of stuff.
Oh, I remember those. They don't exist anymore, but I remember those.
I believe it did really well.
Oh yeah,
it's got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. And
Inside Out did really well.
I just know that Disney Emoji Blitz, Joy kicks ass. She's a very good one to get, just so you know.
Oh yeah, they more than recouped $857.6 million at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched the if you have Disney Plus, they've got all these a day in the life ones that go through different people at work at different places at Disney, and they've got stuff about the history of the company, and they have these Disney in real life things where they set up these social experiments, like go out in the world, and they had the setup of the desk from Inside Out where and you could hit an emotion button, and they had actors there that were having a conversation, like, you know, out in public, and then people would walk up and they like push a button and they would switch on a dime the conversation, like they had a headpiece that would tell them, and they would people could just walk up and they find this thing, they would control the emotions of the actors and they would act it out.
I have not seen that.
Cool.
No. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to look that up.
And they did something with was it the octopus from Finding Nemo or Finding Dory? Like they had this stroller thing rigged up as if it had the octopus in it and it had escaped. And it would go tearing through, and guests in the park are like, oh my god, what's going on? And then employees would come like, did you see a stroller? Like it got by, and just watching people react to this stuff. Oh, it's really cute, cool little series where they just bring this stuff to life.
So it's on Disney Plus. It's called Day in the Life.
No, Day in the Life is the one about individual employees. I can't remember the name of the other series. I think it's just In Real Life or something.
Okay, I'll have to look it up.
And they have different ones based on different characters. I want to watch the WALL-E one. There's a WALL-E one that I haven't gotten to.
See, that's another one that's like, yeah, WALL-E. We're talking about like terrible earth-ending things, and then he's trying to clean up the planet.
Yeah.
Like, but it's so cute though.
Yeah, I really like that one.
WALL-E is adorable. his little cockroach buddy. That never dies.
And just try to look a plant.
A plant.
Just out of curiosity, did you have Disney Channel when you were growing up, Linda?
I did.
Okay, that makes more sense.
There was a lot of those, you know, Disney movie, like not like the feature films, but the ones that were on Disney Channel, the Disney Channel originals. I watched a bunch of those.
I'm old. We had to wait till Sunday when Wonderful World of Disney came on and hope they played an animated one.
Yep.
Yeah. No, we
had like Charlie the Cougar. the nature documentaries.
Yeah, they did. Oh god, it was like, I remember Johnny Tsunami, Smart House, all those kind of like live action, straight to TV Disney movies. They're on Disney Plus, by the way.
My kids were way more into Nickelodeon and stuff. And
I was like,
we watched a lot. My kids watched a lot of PBS too instead of Disney Channel. Like, and a lot of like Blue's Clues and Dora, and then kind of straight to Nick after that.
In my house, Disney was extra. That was like an additional cable you had to pay for. So we had Nickelodeon and USA, which would occasionally show like old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And then, you know, Cartoon Network started on that as well. And early Cartoon Network was literally just like 80s and older stuff for a while until it started to get its own feet. I've always loved animation.
My kids never got really into Disney. like both the younger boys, I mean, they just kind of don't care about it. They never, they've gotten into anime. They liked old retro cartoons. My youngest never liked animated stuff. He preferred things like stop motion and claymation. Like, it was really into Wallace and Gromit, but he would not sit through a Disney movie. Um,
has he seen Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've seen all the Wallace and Gromit.
It's fun.
And he was like, the first thing I had to watch over and over and over again was Nightmare Before Christmas.
That wasn't claimed as Disney at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then once they saw how well it did, they were like, yeah, that's totally us.
That's us.
And then,
yeah. But my
which
other
I
two,
find hilarious.
Hercules, I think, is the only one they really like. That they ever gave a shit about.
I do think it's different between the girls and boys demographics, because a lot of the, not like there's more nowadays that's kind of, you know, it's not geared to one or the other, but back in the day, a lot of the Disney films were more geared towards girls.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going with that.
The princesses.
Yeah, I really think there is a gender thing.
Like the first one that I remember that didn't have a princess or a girl as the main character was Aladdin. And I think I can't remember if did Aladdin come before or after Lion King?
Unless you go back
before.
to like Sword in the Stone.
Before, yeah. But see, for me, Sword in the Stone was before. Like I didn't see Sword in the Stone until I was much older, because it was an older film. So that wasn't.
It was really hard to find for a long time.
Yeah.
Black Cauldron.
Black Cauldron.
There is a princess, but she is not.
She's hilarious. Matt and I just recently rewatched it, actually, because we have Disney Plus, and we were just like, Black Cauldron, we're gonna rewatch this. Dink. And I was like, I forgot that character was even in there.
Yeah.
That's the first one I remember seeing in the theater. I remember being like, I loved it. Every moment of it, and like the terrifying visual of the skeleton hand climbing out of the cauldron, and little, like, I had to have been like 5 or 6, like I was young, and I'm just like like simultaneously I'm scared and just excited. Like it was so good.
I think maybe...
boys in culture get that put in their head like cartoons are for babies sooner than women do.
Maybe.
Like, grow up, be a man. I think they just get more of that, and I think that takes their interest away from animation more than it does women early on.
And I think, at least for me, the reason why I had so much Disney growing up is, I liked it, and my parents were like, well, if you like this, we're going to keep showing you these movies, because obviously they're good, and you like them. And I think the other is that it was safe. Like, my parents thought it was very safe to be fair, I only, like, in the last year and a half realized that Fantasia scarred me. Like, my parents couldn't figure out, I think I was like 5 or 6 at the time, maybe even 7. I went from liking dinosaurs to being terrified of dinosaurs, and I was terrified of skeletons. And I couldn't figure out why for a very long time after, until I rewatched Fantasia, and I was like, it's the sequence with the Stravinsky music and the Night on Bald Mountain.
Both Night on Bald Mountain
scared the shit out of me, apparently.
It scares a lot of kids, actually, and that carried over into the parks. When I was working at Disney, they switched over to the Electric Light Parade, and they had to tone down Chernabog. Chernabog is a big, giant float in that parade, and it was scaring the shit out of children. They were screaming and just, like, traumatized, and they had to, like, tone it way down and have more lights on, because it would get dark as it came up, and the music would start, and the smoke, and kids were freaking the hell out. They kind of had to calm that down a little bit.
But yeah, so there are, obviously that's, again, it's an older film. And there were scary elements to like Snow White, like the whole forest chase scene and the witch. And
can we talk about what kind of drugs the people that made Dumbo must have been taking?
Alice in Wonderland. If you have not sat down and rewatched that movie,
but that matches the book. The visuals kind of it's all already there. Dumbo, I remember watching that one. I was actually tripping on acid in my 20s, and I turned the TV on and Dumbo was on, and that scene where he's supposedly drunk.
No, that's not being drunk.
That is not being drunk.
I was like, again, a later viewing of that movie has me thinking, were they trying to do kind of a PSA of don't drink and making it far worse than it was supposed to be? That you do not get drunk like that on champagne.
No.
Nope.
That is not what drunk is.
Visuals are not a thing. Blackouts, the opposite, happens from over drinking.
I had very high expectations about my first time drinking Disney. You lied to me! No, I'm kidding.
Well, if you believe that, at least you weren't planning to drive afterward.
Nope. It was always a sleepover party.
But overall, so you think Disney is a good moral compass?
Especially the Disney, from probably around the Renaissance on, they are definitely kind of trying to find that the
core messages are there, right?
Yeah.
That are anti, pick a sin and you can find it highlighted in the Disney movie. And they've definitely gotten less sexist. Because, all the whole princesses thing and always having to be rescued took them a long time to get away from.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons in particular, and I know I hear it now. Entangled, yes, she does, somebody does come to her rescue, but she's the one that ultimately makes a deal to get herself free.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why and also the Mother Gothel is a horrifying villain.
Well, and he wasn't really coming to rescue her.
Well, he was, but he failed pretty hard. But one of the reasons why I like Tangled so much is the villain. And you can always tell a really good Disney movie by how good their villain is.
Yeah.
And Mother Gothel is just, for me, is just skin crawling. Yeah. Because she's evil, but she's hiding it behind this, fake love for her not daughter. And I'm just like, lady, back up. You are too close.
Yeah, it's really creepy. That kind of mental, emotional abuse. Yeah. And watching it can be really difficult. But, you're very aware of those situations, and that Mother Knows Best song is just cringy as hell.
But that shows, how much they've evolved. That Disney is willing to go there. They're like, yes, this is an evil character. This is a bad person. Mm-hmm. And we're highlighting that you don't have to be over the top, cackling with lightning behind you to really hurt someone.
Stealing puppies, necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lilo, I think, was a fantastic protagonist.
Mm-hmm. It's fun because
she was a troublemaker, and she didn't fit in, and then of course people don't believe her, and
and that whole movie is about finding the people that are your family, that
Yeah.
finding the people that you do fit in with, and even oddballs can find other oddballs to, you know, be friends and family with. And I really like that movie. It's sweet because, and it's got a very non-conventional family.
I think the line I use most from any Disney film might be from Lilo and Stitch, where I'm like, yeah, it's broken, small and broken, but good, still good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I really like Frozen for the advancement too of the whole not being rescued and true love being family and sisters and being your own hero. In the second one was even like a stronger doing it for yourself thing.
And I actually like Frozen 2 better than Frozen the original.
I
And
think most people do.
I like Tangled better than Frozen. I always have.
I love Tangled. I think Rob's favorite seems to be Tangled. I didn't know
good.
He didn't care about Disney movies. He got sick last year, really sick. Actually, we think it was the COVID, but well, the beginning of the year, and he just wanted. We stayed and we watched Disney movies like all day for 2 days. He's like, I really want to watch Tangled. I'm like, who are you? How sick are you?
Well, any closing thoughts?
Well, I just remember when I worked at the at Hollywood Video, like the movie, we had a playlist of like certain things. You had to play the trailer reel basically of like new things coming out, and then we had a list of music video tapes that we could play, and then we had a list of movies that we could always put on, like always approved, and it was Disney. It was only Disney, not Muppets, not Don Bluth, nothing else except Disney. Honestly, that's how I got caught up on a lot of Disney movies.
Oh, they should be careful with that. Hunchback, man.
Well, yeah, it was okay. I was actually very much still in my anti-Disney phase at that point because Lion King.
Well, Hunchback has one of the best musical scores like ever written, in my opinion. But yeah, it's interesting how people will like put a big like cover over Disney of this is the family friendly everything, and I'm like, have you seen some of the stuff they've put out?
Oh man, before Hercules came out, I was like, really? You're doing Hercules? Are we going to talk about all the women he has relations with?
Yeah.
Willingly and unwillingly.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, of course not.
Yeah. Of course, they changed the script. They can always change the script.
But yeah, no, overall it is considered to be the safe thing, which is why I think some people take it a step too far and maybe use it more as a babysitter or to avoid having to have those discussions with their own children. It's like, here, let's just sit you in front of the television, watch these things, and that's all you need to know. But I also worked at a daycare center, and that's also what we did, so speaking from experience on that, after a while, it's like, okay, we can't go outside, just watch Disney movies.
I'm more a nerd about teaching moments. Like, I will ask the kids, I would always ask them, like, what did you think of that? What about this part? And see if they had any thoughts to try and keep them from being silently traumatized. Then there was the horrible, careless, traumatizing my son by mistake. We left Army of Darkness in the video player by mistake. And he was like 4 or 5, and he woke up and hit play. And it was like the stop motion skeletons in the graveyard and the Necronomicon, and he was just, and he woke us up, and he's like, it was of darkness. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, he's 24, and to this day, every once in a while, we're like, oh, it's of darkness, like whenever something is scary.
A similar situation with Barbarella that happened. Which Barbarella, you're like, well, yeah, you shouldn't watch that. You're a kid for other scenes. But the only part I saw was the dolls. Those creepy dolls with the metal teeth, and they start biting her. Because I was
Ew.
sneaking downstairs because I wanted to see what my parents were watching, and I was supposed to be asleep, but I wasn't tired. And I saw that, and I'm like, and I freaked out, and ran up to my room, and I
Oh no.
for the longest time, I thought that was a horror movie.
I also I have a similar story, but you're gonna laugh when I tell you what movie it was. My father was down in the living room watching Dark Crystal, and I went downstairs right when the Skeksis King crumbled to dust, and
Oh yeah.
that was still the point where I was terrified of skeletons. So add that on top of it, and I was just like, oh my god! Like, little tiny, like 6-year-old me. I was like, ah.
Oh no, did it ruin you for Muppets?
No, I like the next thing they showed me was, I think, Muppet Treasure Island. And I was like, I didn't know they were the same. I didn't know, I
Right.
was too young to know it was both made by the same guy. And they were like, look, singing and Kermit. Like, okay.
Ooh, we are dropping frames.
The cabin fever.
And we were all going mad. So yeah, I personally think that, especially with the way that things are headed with the Disney like message and company, I think they make a pretty good moral compass.
I think they're good stewards of that responsibility for the most part.
Yeah, obviously, don't just sit your kid in front of Disney movies and be like, okay.
Right.
But
like, I liked your idea about discussing with your kids, like, how'd you feel? What was the movie about? How did I like that? Like, that's
Yeah.
a really good way to address it. And
I try. I'm not the worst mom.
well, it's like, again, like Disney movies were also the safety for, we can't do anything else in school. Let's watch a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Why? Why are we watching the Disney movie? Well, we didn't want to rent anything else. Sorry.
Yeah, they do that at my kids' school sometimes. But they'll do stuff like use one that's somehow related to the curriculum, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's what most of them are supposed to do. My school system might not have always been the best in that regards. I did always think I was always envious of the kids who were learning another language because they would watch Disney films in Spanish or French.
Oh man,
I always thought that would be cool.
So yeah, we watched The Lion King in German. I remember in high school, but I actually saw The Secret of Nim in elementary school. They put that on as the movie we were going to watch. That was the first time I saw Secret of Nim, which
yes,
little me was like, "This is so cool," and then older me is like, "This makes no sense, but it's still cool."
And speaking of Disney, I will make a PSA in that vein. Schoolhouse Rock is streaming on Disney Plus. That is a good one to sit your kids in front of and talk to them about it. I have owned that whole collection on DVD for many years and lent it to many schools.
So watch Schoolhouse Rock. It's real good.
It is.
So,
yep.
If y'all have any opinions on Disney as a moral compass, you can always chime in by emailing us at geekgirls@gmail.com. And you can also tweet us at geekgirls. So, what are y'all most anticipating coming up? Ember?
I don't have much at all for plans this week. I think I'm going to be isolating more. Like, I've gone out a few times, and it makes me very uncomfortable. Like, even with in the morning on a Monday and only half the store is open, I took a shower when I got home from the mall. I can't. Yeah. And I went out for a drink. It was like last night. It's like it's Sunday night. I get a $5 Bloody Mary, and I ran into people, and it was not crowded, so I was like, okay, we'll go in. But then it was people I haven't seen in a long time, and everybody wants to hug me, and I'm not ready for this. Cases are still bad and out there, and one of my sons tested positive, and I'm just not okay with being out. So I'm staying in a lot more. I might go to a drive-in movie they're setting up in the mall parking lot.
Neat.
Yeah. I forget the movie, but it's some kids movie. But I think I'm gonna go with Leah and her daughter, and just sit in the back in the cars and watch a movie. And I'm building the secret project and my gardening, and yeah, that's about it. I really, really wish I could travel. I was supposed to have gone to see my daughter, and we're coming up on her birthday next month, which will be the first birthday that we've known each other. And I can't go.
Yeah, you'll have to like FaceTime or Zoom or something.
Yeah, something. It's hurting me.
Yeah. You'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Ray?
Yeah. No, I'm excited about Acquisitions Incorporated D&D on Wednesday, so that'll be fun. We've been doing that with Simulacra Studios, and then I started year 3 on Stardew Valley, which I think is technically the end of the game, but you can keep playing forever as long as you want.
Oh, is it sandbox after that?
Yeah, because it's basically like a farming sim, but there's a lot more to it. It's
well,
I've never played like Harvest Moon or any of those other sim farm games, so this is my first one. So initially I was like, no, and now I'm really into it. Like, I'm not exhausted from 18 hours of playing games straight, so I gave it a fair shot, and I'm like, no, this is great. This is actually very similar to a game I want to make. So I've been enjoying that, and I'm just trying to figure out when to start streaming again.
Well, it's like Slime Rancher. Once you have an ending, but then you can just keep playing.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like Grandpa just came and evaluated me, because apparently your grandfather leaves you his farm. And like his ghost came, and it was like Christmas, so it was like, oh, I see you're doing such a good job. Way to go, sweetie. And goes away, and I was like, little. It hit a little bit because I still miss my grandpa. So,
Oh.
But that was about it. How about you, Linda?
Well, I'm gonna be doing my D&D game where I'm running on Wednesday, so more whimsy. They get to go after another card. This one is gonna be entertaining because they're gonna have a lot of options. They can try and talk their way in. They can try and steal it. they can do a lot of things.
They'll probably do something you haven't planned for, because that's how
great.
It works.
I look forward to that. Like they kind of did that with the Don Juan card. Like, I was planning on them either like bribing their way in or like trying to sneak in, and they sort of did like a half. Like, they went and and found an NPC that I had mentioned earlier and was like, hey, what's the lowdown on this? And I was like, all right, I'm going to give you this information anyway, because that was clever. Let's see. Going to be playing the Star Wars RPG that we do on Tuesday. So that'll be fun. We're in the midst of trouble, as we normally are. And probably gonna be making more egg-based dishes.
Cool. Well, remember, folks, you can always come watch us record live at twitch.tv/geekgrills on most Monday evenings. Our next show will be on June 22nd at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And what are we doing next week?
Next week is...
We should start putting that in the notes.
We should. Next week is female (fantasy) authors.
Ah, that's mine. Okay.
Yes,
that's Ray.
Ray will do that. Also, in addition to the subs and bits we get on Twitch, we are supported by our amazing patrons, the greatest girlfriends on the internet. You can become a patron at www.patreon.com/grills. And don't forget, if you have Amazon Prime, you can sub to us for free every month on Twitch.
Yes.
I
Give
have
us
a
that free
19th
money.
month streak of that.
Tea.
Nice.
Another way to show your support is by leaving us a review. You can do so on any of your podcast catchers. Leaving a review is free, and they help our ranking, which help other people find our podcast, which is great. You can also join our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter if you'd like to help spread the word. And where can we find y'all on the interwebs?
I can be reached at 9 of 12. That's NINEOF12 on Twitter and Twitch. And you can hear me on the Heresy and Hearsay podcast. Jen can be found on Twitter. There we go. At the
Yep.
Sorry, I'll just do that. At the Jen Says on Twitter, you can find everything she does at thejensays.com.
You can find me on Instagram under Dapple Dame, on Twitch as Ray Ino, and Linda.
And you can find me on Twitch and on Instagram under the name madcap_miss. That's MISC as in miscellaneous, and not Mrs. Although that would have been clever. So thanks for listening, everyone. Good game.
GG.
Yay.
I'm gonna raid Alex Abisu, who's another
Okie
Diamond
dokie.
Club member who we have had the show in the past. So everybody say hello to Alex. He does the Dad Chronicles as well as streaming games and stuff.
Okay.
That's a really cool show. He took one of my suggestions a while back and had like a same-sex dads couple on talking about parenting. So that was neat. Okay. So let me stop the stream now that we have rated.